Hello, I'm Susan Short from Brown University, and the title of this poster is Gender Contexts in U.S. Women's Health. I'm collaborating on this research with Dr. Rebecca Wong and Dr. Megan Zacher. Introduction. Ample evidence reminds us that we live in a gendered world. Our schools, families, and workplaces are highly gendered institutions. So in this paper, we consider how, if at all, is this relevant to the health of women? We focus on a particular aspect of gender context, what we're calling in this paper cultural sexism. And we have a two-part research question. First, we ask, how does cultural sexism vary across states and over time in the US? And second, is this measure of cultural sexism associated with individual women's self-assessed health? So why cultural sexism? Sociologists have long defined gender as more than an identity or role. Gender is an institutionalized system of social practices. Cultural beliefs about gender contribute to the persistence of institutions, structures, and practices that maintain this gender system. Yes, causality is complicated, but we will observe that norms have staying power. They can persist beyond the dismantling of structures. So by extension, cultural sexism may contribute in a fundamental way to the persistence of gender structures, inequalities, and indeed variation in health. This paper expands upon recent excellent work on structural sexism by Trish Homan. We take a complementary angle and focus on cultural rather than structural aspects of sexism. Methods. We construct standardized state-year cultural sexism scores using gender attitude questions from the General Social Survey and other sources. These questions focus primarily on beliefs about women, work, and family. We construct a single score for each state for each year between 1993 and 2014, a 20-year period, and standardize these scores across state years. We link state-year cultural sexism scores to repeated cross-sectional data from the Behavioral Risk Factor Surveillance System, again, over the years 1993 to 2014. We restrict the sample to women 25 and older. The final sample includes over 3 million women living in 1,064 state years. We estimate nested OLS regression models of women's self-rated health on cultural sexism. And we adjust for individual measures such as age and education, and two types of contextual measures. First, contextual measures that capture economic or policy context, such as median income and unemployment. And second, contextual measures related to gender context, such as the ratio of male to female labor force participation, or the percentage of women state legislators, etc. Results. First, cultural sexism varied considerably across states. Levels of cultural sexism declined between 1993 and 2014 in all US states. Second, cultural sexism is significantly associated with women's self-rated health, even when controlling for individual demographic characteristics and contextual measures, including some that reflect structural aspects of sexism. Higher levels of cultural sexism were associated with poorer health. Conclusion. Though gender inequality has been described using structural measures, such as wage gap or laws, less attention has been paid to developing measures of place-based variation in normative gender contexts. We develop measures of cultural sexism and show cultural sexism varies significantly across place and over time in the US, and it's associated with poorer health for women. So why does this matter? Well, to the extent that cultural beliefs contribute to maintaining a gender system that perpetuates inequality and disadvantages people of all genders, deepening our understanding of these beliefs and the heterogeneity therein is essential. Current efforts to advance scholarship in this area are limited by data. The development of innovative measures, methods, and data on systemic sexism should include attention to cultural dimensions. Representing the gender system more fully has the potential to advance scholarship on health disparities. Thank you very much.